What's going on, YouTubers? It's the Natural Born Thriller. And before I start this WWE NXT review, the show from um, March 4th, 2020, just want to say I apologize for the delay and hiatus where it pertains to me giving you my contents on right here on YouTube where it pertains to me being Natural Born Thriller. But I'm gonna do my best I can to give you everything that I left off and everything that I want to also present as well. Hopefully, eventually, I will do that, and hopefully you'll tune in for that as well. Basically, I explained that whole thing what pertains to me doing WWE Elimination Chamber 2020 review. So, but let's move on. They were in Full Sail University in Winter Park, Florida. We have commentators Mauro Renaro, Nigel McGuinness, and there was no Beth Phoenix. Why there was no Beth Phoenix? Well, because in storyline wise, in WWE's mind, because of an RKO that Randy Orton gave to Beth Phoenix, a wrestling move to Beth Phoenix, who's a wrestler. She took time off, of NXT to commentate to sell her injuries. Yeah, because an RKO could take you out for a week. Stupid. Anyways, I mean, it would have made a lot of sense if she got punked in the head. But nope, we had to go with an RKO move instead. It's ridiculous. Anyways, moving on. This won't be much of a review. I mean, some of it will be, but this will be more like results of it than a review. The first match was a steel cage match. On this night there was two cage matches, one for the women and one for the men. The opening one was on the women's, unfortunately, and I can understand why they did the men's last, which I'll get to why. But I still feel like the women should have been the ones to be the main event. After seeing this, thank God wasn't. I'm not saying the match between Tegan Knox and Dakota Kai was bad. In a way, it was still good. Oh yeah, Raquel Gonzalez out there, and I'm saying as a woman, I thought she was banned. Despite there was a steel cage there, to prevent her to get inside of the cage. But I thought the whole point of the steel cage match, which Rodrigo said that Raquel Gonzalez would be banned, and she wasn't. She was still there. But despite that, Tegan Knox and Dakota Kai were going at each other this match. Tegan Knox kept hesitating and had a look on her face, of a look on her face, and a stare for a good seconds and everything to sell, how good of a actress she can be, whatever. I'm like, oh my God. I sometimes I hate that. I sometimes hate that shit in wrestling, especially with WWE. WWE does this way too many times, and it gets overdone where you're making making these performers look stupid. And Tegan Knox in this one looked stupid because it cost her the match. Raquel got involved in the match plenty of times, and basically Raquel Gonzalez trapping Tegan Knox and let Dakota Kai get out of the cage. Now, like I said, the match itself I thought was good, but the booking of the match got in the way, and Tegan Knox looking like a buffoon by staring and delaying, stalling. It just made her look bad. It did not make her look good at all. But there you go. Dakota Kai wins. We see Finn Balor pertains to him being attacked by Imperium, which it was Fabian Aichner and Marcel Bardell. And Finn Balor says that he'll be seeing them real soon. And we'll get and basically it will lead to NXT UK. And that's all I want to say from there. We see a real package of Rhea Ripley. She visited the Raymond James Stadium where WrestleMania is going to be, basically WrestleMania 36. Unfortunately, that's not the case now because of the coronavirus. But she talks about her match against Charlotte Flair for the NXT Women's Championship, which Rhea Ripley is the holder of that title. So Robert Stone says that Chelsea Green is the face of the women's division. That's me saying in a way saying yeah, right. She hasn't done anything in NXT to be the face of the women's division. But she had a match against Chelsea Green, had a match against Sashi Blackheart, where the winner gets to qualify in a women's ladder match at Takeover Tampa Bay. But as of right now, Tampa Bay will not be having a takeover show, so it's unfortunate. Because of the coronavirus. But this match itself, it was decent, and Chelsea Green wins the match, which I did not like because this match fits well with Shotzi Blackheart, but instead they had Chelsea Green win instead, and Chelsea Green to me didn't look strong in this match at all, and yeah, I just didn't like who won the match. I like who qualified in the match. Unless they do something later on, which is to do a last chance type of match, like a battle royal, whatever, to get a final spot in the match. But other than that, yeah, I don't understand why Chelsea Green had to be in the match. Keith Lee, the NXT North American champion, he makes his way to the ring. He agrees, to the fans and everything. He says that he's the limitless one, and he has become the NXT North American champion. And said many had tried to take away from him and everything, like a Dominik Dijakovic, and it looks like Damian Priest is trying to be the next guy too and all. And all of a sudden, Cameron Grimes comes out, and Cameron Grimes talks about how he caved in on Dominik Dijakovic, even though he had help, even though he didn't know that excuse me, even though he didn't know that Damian Priest was going to be involved of him winning, but he still won, and he wants a shot at the title. And Keith Lee basically pushes him, and I don't remember if Keith Lee said anything. Oh yeah, he actually did. He said Grimes had made the gravest mistake of his career, and then Grimes was telling him another thing, that you beat him in 20 minutes while I beat him in less than 20 minutes, and basically so. So Keith Lee shoves Cameron Grimes out of the ring, and obviously this will lead to a match between the two, and we'll get to that when I do the next review of it. We see video footage of Austin Theory saying that he's the greatest NXT in history. For a guy who's 22 years old. So also we see Isaiah Scott confronts him and laughs at him and everything, and basically took exception to it, and just led to a match. And we'll get to that later. Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish warming up for their match against the Broserweights. I mean, I'm not. Excuse me, not the Broserweights. Danny Burch and Owen Lorcan, 1-2. Basically, it was a segment for the Undisputed Era. Alan Cole, the NXT champion. I think I had Roderick Strong there as well. Basically, with Roderick Strong warm up for this match against the Velveteen Dream in the steel cage match later on in the main event, and we'll get to that later. So then Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish of Undisputed Era versus 1-2 and Danny Burch and Orly Lorcan. Match itself was decent, and in the end, it was Undisputed Era winning the match. After the match, Kyle O'Reilly calls out the Broserweights and Bobby Fish, because they want a shot against the Loserweights. So then the Broserweights comes out, the NXT Tag Team Champions, Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne. And Matt Riddle says that you want a rematch. Well, the Stallone Pete, which is Pete Dunne, he's referring to. And all the Stallones. I mean Stallion. I'm sorry, folks. I said it wrong. Stallions. Stallion Pete and the Stallions. Which is NXT fans. And then Matt Riddle's going to finish his sentence and everything pertains to Stallion Regal. Also, the grizzled young veterans they blindside the Broserweights and basically said that they're not waiting for Regal. They want a shot at the titles, and it says soon to be recognized as the world's #1, and that is the grizzled young veterans. Yeah, which is James Drake and Zach Gibson. We get a real package again of Austin Theory, and this time with Isaiah Swerve Scott too. We're seeing topping up their match. And here we go. But before we do, we see the Velveteen Dream backstage. I'm assuming he was warming up for this match. Don't care. He could be also practicing his Prince dance moves, and I still won't care. Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Austin Theory. Decent match. Wasn't really into that match, but I still enjoyed it. But Austin Theory Austin Theory, the one of the greatest NXT stars, won the match. So that's gonna be his thing, by the way. He's gonna be he's gonna be he's gonna proclaim himself as the greatest NXT star in history. But yeah, Austin Theory won the match. Austin Theory, excuse me. We got more of these old video vignettes, folks. The video vignettes that people kept talking about who could be making his debut. Now, I didn't watch it I didn't know it was happening during this show. It was actually happening on the next show that I watched, which I'll get to that when I get to that next review, and then I'll talk more about that once I get to it. So, because again, I keep missing these vignettes that people kept talking about. All right, now we get to this taped interview of Mauro Ranallo interviewing Johnny Gargano to explain, but basically they're at the WWE Performance Center, and they to basically explain why Johnny Gargano did what he did to Tommaso Ciampa at Takeover, which was in where was Royal Rumble again? In Texas. Was it Houston? NXT Takeover Houston. Anyways, the point is Gargano is being interviewed by Mauro Ranallo about this whole thing, and Gargano says that he was the only one that attended the red carpet premiere of Mauro Ranallo's documentary, and you're probably saying to yourself, what's that got to do with him attacking Tommaso Ciampa? So then Mauro says, well, yeah, you did. And then Gargano wonders if being the heart and soul of NXT is all he is to basically to Mauro Ranallo. And I'm thinking myself, why you going to Mauro Ranallo for? Aren't you supposed to be talking about why you did what you did to Ciampa? Shouldn't your anger be focusing on Ciampa instead of Mauro Ranallo, the commentator of NXT? So Mauro asks, why the sneak attacks? And then Gargano says, what sneak attacks? I didn't sneak attack them. Okay, it was Portland. My folks. It was Takeover Portland that happened. Duh. Why did I forget it was Portland? Why was I thinking about Houston? I don't know. I'm sorry, folks, but it was Takeover Portland that happened with the whole attack. I don't know if Rumble was yeah, as a matter of fact, yeah, all these Takeover Portland was part of Rumble weekend. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. It wasn't during that during Rumble weekend. My fault, folks. I apologize for that. There you go. I could always correct myself. I could stand correct myself there. So I apologize for that. Sorry for the confusion. Sorry for the confusions. But anyways, so back to this. He looked at the he looked in the eye at Ciampa at Takeover, and then we did. So that was basically, yeah, he was right. That was not a sneak attack. Gargano did what he needed to do. He said he said as for last week, from the previous week, basically, he was wearing a blue sports coat. And Mauro mentions all Gargano and Ciampa have been through, and Gargano says you had no idea what we've been through. Gargano says, getting more, basically gets more, and he gets more frustrated about this and everything. And he's taking that out all on Mauro. And Mauro is specifically asking why. And then Gargano's like, why this, why that, and then everything. And Mauro now says, look, I don't want any trouble. And then Gargano says, if Mauro admits that he admits to Johnny that he's a liar, and Mauro says, no, I didn't say you were a liar. And then Gargano was like, saying that Mauro didn't call or talk to him after Takeover Portland about this whole situation. All you did is shout out Johnny Turncoat, which he did. And then Mauro said it was at the heat of the moment, and then Gargano got in his face, and then Mauro said, you know what, I feel comfortable with this, I'm done. And that was the end of the interview. And then Gargano kept yelling as Mauro kept walking away. So this interview was intense. It got heated. It was all that you needed to see in this interview. And it's something that you never thought you'd see Gargano, because I never thought to see this style starting John Gargano until this point. Wow, amazing. And there you go. And we'll get to more of Gargano on the next review of NXT. So there you go. Oh yeah, I forgot to do. It says he also sends a message to Ciampa. Ciampa is not the puppet master, and he says at the Performance Center, which that's what NXT was at, rotates to do their shows. Since the whole thing of the whole coronavirus thing. But yeah, that's basically it. So there you go. But yeah, I love the side of Gargano though, and I love how the feud is turning around, where Gargano is the heel and Ciampa is the face. Velveteen Dream takes on Roderick Strong in the steel cage match, main event. Match itself decent. You have Marina Shafir coming down with a candlestick to hand it to her husband, Roderick Strong. The candlestick was missed a little bit, but then the match continued on, as it goes by. Undisputed Era comes out. And I say to myself, okay, so what is the point of having a steel cage match anyways, if you're going to just have these guys come in there and try to get into the steel cage? What's the point of a steel cage? The point of a steel cage, you have to keep everyone out and stay out of these the ones that are in the cage, all their business. What is the point? Marina Shafir, it's that one I could pass on, because she didn't get involved that much. But the way they're doing it is they're overdoing it. They're overdoing this whole in the first of the steel cage, where you're gonna lose interest of a steel cage match. Why even do it? Why have a steel cage match at this point? When you can have anyone else that's not even involved in this business to be in this business. So Velveteen Dream was facing all comers of the Undisputed Era. Roger Strong and Velveteen Dream were fighting outside the cage. I mean, not outside the cage. They're trying to fight their way out of the cage. Al Cole was in the ring. At this point, and the Velveteen Dream sees Adam Cole in there. All of a sudden, he pushes Roger Strong out of the cage. And I say to myself, what the hell was that? He basically gave the win to Roger Strong. And then he closed the cage door, leaving him and Adam Cole alone. And then right there, it hit me. Like, oh, I get it. Velveteen Dream wants Adam Cole to to challenge for the NXT championship. That's why the Velveteen Dream did this. But I'll talk more about that when I do the next NXT review of it. It becomes more clear of why the Velveteen Dream did this. Velveteen is still rather strong in this whole steel cage thing and all that. Well, I'll talk more about that afterwards. When I get to it. But so Velveteen Dream handcuffed the locks of the door, and then who goes out to Alan Cole, beats him up. Yeah, Undisputed Era outside trying to get into the cage. By climbing. But then Velveteen Dream gets Alan Cole and rams each of them to the knock them off of the cage wall. And then in the end, the Dream stands over Alan Cole, dancing and everything with the NXT title and blah blah blah, and it's including on top of the cage. So that right there shows you that the Velveteen Dream wants an opportunity. He wants to be next in line against Alan Cole for the NXT championship. And there you go. That was the show. Talking about wrestling, 5 matches. My overall strength for the show, I'm gonna go with 5.5 out of 10. To me, the show wasn't bad, but to me, NXT as of right now, as it stands for now, it's losing its steam. I feel like in the show, watching this show, and it's lost its steam. That's just me. I don't know how any of you feel, but to me, that's where I'm coming from this now. But with that being said, thank you all for watching for It's Natural Born Thriller, saying peace on the streets. This was your WWE NXT review, the show from March 4th, 2020. Until next time, folks, we'll the next NXT review. You all stay well, stay safe, keep yourself protected, work against this whole coronavirus situation. Stay in peace. I'm out. You all take care. Ta-ta for now.